doesn't necessarily happen like boom, boom, boom. If you lose your job, is it guaranteed that you're going to get another one tomorrow? No, you're going to have to go through that process of getting the job.
Let her finish, Lego.
You have to go through that process. So all I'm saying is, it's not just the conversation or I'm just going to do this. It's you have to go through the process. And if you're not willing to go through the process, then you shouldn't say what you're going to be with or what you're not going to be with.
But you're looking at something else. You say process. That goes along with process, system, structure.
Right. But what about when the process doesn't go your way?
The process is the process. See, the key to a man of leadership, you put in processes and systems for virtually anything.
Mr. Let Go, send me this video that you wanted me to play for you guys. Let me go ahead and play it.
Y'all gonna love this.
Looking for a lover. She's looking for a father. You are your wife's father all the way back in Abraham time, even today. When you get married, you stand at the altar. She's coming down the aisle with her father. So there are two fathers in the house, one waiting and one bringing. Follow me now. The father who bringing, he gonna soon release her to another father. So the Bible says a man leaves his father, but it never says a woman leaves. A woman never leaves. Read the Bible. The woman never leaves her father. Why? Because she just changes fathers. He turns her over to you and says, pick up where I left off, son. You are the father of your wife.
This is the reason why most women who don't have fathers have trouble submitting to a man. Because how can a man continue something that never was started? A woman must be fathered in order to be fathered in a marriage. Think about it. Aren't fatherless women the hardest women to deal with? There's a reason why.
Fatherless men are the hardest men to marry too.
That's a fact.
The pastor's tweaking on this one.
Well, y'all don't marry us, so that has that makes no sense, because you can't say somebody's hard to marry because y'all don't have control over that. So we are the ones that are marrying women.
Yeah, we do.
Vira, you can't say.
So you can't say men are hard to marry. You're not marrying.
Oh, you can't say the pastor tweaking.
Daddy, I ain't your father. I'm your daddy. I ain't your father.
You can't say that the pastor tweaking after what you just said, because what the pastor basically said is she transferred from one form of leadership to another form of leadership.
Yes.
So do y'all agree with this or no?
Yes, I agree.
Yes,
I agree. You go from covering to covering.
I agree.
No one can ever be your father but your father. I'm your leader.
I am your father. I'm my woman's or my wife.
It's your father, then it's your daddy.
Yeah, I'll be daddy. But I ain't
Daddy.
Whatever you want to call it, but you're gonna sit your ass down somewhere.
Okay,
Period.
daddy. Okay, daddy.
Man,
Daddy.
That's literally what she's doing, is that she's going to transfer from one form of leadership to another based on what the past. So you should be agreeing with him when he says she's essentially falling into another underneath another man. She was under her father, and now you got to take care of her and buy all her shit and make sure she loses weight and make sure she does what she's supposed to do. You just said that you're responsible for that shit.
Listen,
this is responsible for you. Period.
You just want to.
This is why.
Her. Lord, don't get old. Don't get hurt.
This is why.
Get sick. Don't real life is going to happen. Real life is going to happen.
One at a time.
It means that real life is going to happen, and we can have this. Oh, she can't be fat, and if she fat, I'm out. But real life, it happens to people.
What we talking about? Fat? We talking about being a father? I'm confused. Hold on, y'all.
No, Sweeney was throwing out the examples of, as a father, you got to make sure she's do this. You got to make sure you do that.
Read me 20.
But there's always that, like I said, we talked about the fat thing, and I'm just saying that real life happens. Yes, a woman needs to be responsible for her weight, but when we have these conversations, they're just so here and now. But the rest of the song is, I promise to love you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
as long as you don't get fat. That's what the song is saying.
No, because what if you lose your job? You expect her to be there with you. What if you get sick? What if a artery clogs or something? You expect her to be there for you, right? You expect her to love you. You expect her to pray for you that you get better. So as a husband, if you want a divine project, then you have to know how to minister to your wife even when she gets fat.
Precious, the number one thing that you may be missing out on, part of being fat, unless it's a health issue, is lack of discipline, lack of
understand
structure.
that, but now you're married.
He's talking about the health issue part.
Right. The father, the man, whatever you want to call him, his job is to not only like show structure, lead by example, but maintain structure. The main thing I would say that a man needs from a woman is to maintain her damn weight, maintain her discipline while he maintains his discipline. If you get sick, that's one thing. If he gets lose his job, that's another thing. Shit happens to both people. But altogether, if a man loses his job, he needs to figure that shit out and go find another goddamn job. If a woman gets fat, she needs to do her damn job and get her fat ass in the gym.
Right, but what I'm saying is it doesn't necessarily happen. It doesn't necessarily happen like boom, boom, boom. If you lose your job, is it guaranteed that you're going to get another one tomorrow? No, you're going to have to go through that process of getting the job.
Let her finish, Lego.
You have to go through that process. So all I'm saying is it's not just the conversation or I'm just going to do this. It's you have to go through the process. And if you're not willing to go through the process, then you shouldn't say what you're going to be with or what you're not going to be with.
But you're looking at something else. You say process. That goes along with process, system, structure.
Right. But what about when the process doesn't go your way?
The process is the process. See, the key to a man of leadership, you put in processes and systems for virtually anything. As adults, everything has already happened to us one time already. We don't lost a job. We don't got sick. Somebody don't died, whatever. Ain't nothing happening to us that ain't happened to somebody close to us or to us already. So we already know what potentially can happen. A tiger running your house, you ain't got no system for that. But if a dude running your house, you got a system for that because that shit done happened before. Ain't nothing happening under the sun that ain't happening to you or somebody else already, which means if you are a man of leadership to a certain degree for all the job, getting fat, all that shit.
All right, Mr. Lego.
Hold on. Let me get Trace. You know you're trying to get in there. Go ahead, School.
All right. So most of us have been to weddings, right? And there's a reason why your father walks you down the aisle to your husband. That is the transfer of leadership right then and there. I did want to also get to the point that Mr. Seleko made and the second part of it, right? So he was talking about fatherless women, right? And the one thing that I do is advise men to be very careful when you engage with women who did not have a father present in their life. And the reasons for that is, for one, they will not understand the proper family structure. Two,
fact,
you have to listen to the mother say the most egregious things imaginable about men. Three, they're probably going to see multiple men. They're going to be missing so many things that are supposed to be foundational because they haven't experienced it at all. They've never witnessed it. And usually women who are no longer with the father, they have a bitter mindset towards the man in general. So the woman will have a very difficult time respecting you as a man. And even if they would like to, they don't know how to.